All right, so we've got a ton of AI articles here. Looks like you're really interested in how AI is changing healthcare and education, and of course, all the ethics involved.
Yeah, definitely AI has huge potential to really improve lives.
Yeah,
And it's great to see so much focus on making sure those benefits are for everyone while still thinking about the ethics.
for sure. So let's jump into healthcare first. I was reading about this AI that analyzes someone's genes and medical history to make personalized cancer treatments. That's wild.
What's really revolutionary is it's not just matching people with treatments that already exist, it's actually predicting how they'll respond based on their molecular makeup. So we can potentially make treatments more effective and have fewer side effects, so better outcomes and quality of life.
Wow, that's like medicine tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
And speaking of personalized, what about AI-powered wearables that can keep track of your health all the time?
That's where AI is really going to shine with preventing problems. Imagine a smartwatch that notices tiny changes in your heart rhythm or blood pressure or even your sleep. It could alert you and your doctor before you even feel anything.
Like having a health guardian on your wrist. That's huge for managing things like diabetes or heart disease. Early intervention could prevent so many problems.
Definitely. And for people in remote areas without easy access to doctors, these wearables could be a lifeline, letting them get remote monitoring and catch problems early.
So it's not just cool gadgets. It's about making good healthcare available to everyone. Which brings up an important point about access. How do we make sure these amazing AI technologies are available to everyone and not just a select few?
That's the big question. As we develop these technologies, we have to be aware of potential disparities in access. So things like affordability, digital literacy, and even just infrastructure.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that everyone has a chance to benefit regardless of their income or where they live.
It's about making sure everyone is included in this better future we're talking about. Okay, let's switch gears from healthcare and talk about how AI is revolutionizing education, making learning more engaging and personalized for every student.
Absolutely. And there's been huge progress in developing learning platforms powered by AI that can adapt to how each student learns and how quickly they learn.
I read about one platform that actually adjusts the difficulty of the material and even how it's presented to match how a student learns best. It's like having a personal tutor every step of the way.
That's exactly the goal. To create a learning experience that's tailored to each student's unique needs and what they're good at. This is especially helpful for students who learn differently and struggle in traditional classrooms. Imagine an AI tutor that provides customized support and encouragement, helping students overcome challenges and reach their full potential.
That could change so many lives for the better. But does this mean robots are going to replace teachers?
Not at all. The goal is to give teachers better tools, not replace them. AI can take care of time-consuming tasks like grading and paperwork,
Yeah.
leaving teachers free to focus on what they're best at, mentoring, inspiring, and building those human connections that are so important for learning.
So it's a partnership between teachers and AI technology. Enhances the learning experience, but doesn't replace human interaction.
Exactly. AI provides the tools and the data, and teachers provide the guidance, the support, and the inspiration that make learning meaningful. It's a learning environment that's personalized and human-centered, where every student has a chance to succeed.
Sounds like everyone wins. And for students in remote areas or students who don't have access to traditional education, these platforms could open up a whole new world of learning. It's amazing to think about the potential for making education more equal around the world.
That's a key part of this revolution, making sure these advances benefit everyone no matter their background or where they live. By making quality education more accessible and personalized, AI can help create a more level playing field and empower people around the world.
That's a truly inspiring vision for the future of education. We've talked about healthcare education and how AI can make those things fairer and more available for everyone. It's clear that we have to be mindful of the ethics involved as AI becomes more and more a part of our lives. And speaking of ethics, I noticed you have some articles here about a global effort to set ethical standards for AI development. What's that all about?
It's a recognition that as AI gets more powerful and spreads, we need to make sure it's developed and used responsibly. This effort is about setting guidelines and frameworks so that AI aligns with our values and benefits all of humanity. It's about asking the right questions and building safeguards into the development process so we can navigate this new frontier carefully and responsibly.
So it's not just about being wowed by the technology, it's about making sure it's a force for good in the world.
Exactly. It's about using AI's incredible power to create a better future for everyone while understanding the potential problems and working proactively to fix them. Things like transparency, understanding how AI systems make decisions, accountability, knowing who's responsible if something goes wrong, and reducing bias, making sure AI doesn't make existing societal biases even worse.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do we actually make sure people follow those ethical standards? AI is developing so quickly, and it's a global thing.
Yeah.
What's to stop someone from taking shortcuts or using AI for bad purposes?
You've hit on a critical issue. Enforcement is going to be a challenge, and it's going to require countries working together, strong regulations, and a commitment from the people creating AI to prioritize ethical considerations along with technological advancements. It's a complicated problem, but the good news is there seems to be growing agreement around the world that ethical AI is essential. We're seeing more and more groups working together, more discussions, and more focus on making sure AI is in line with our values.
It sounds like it's going to take a global effort to make sure AI is developed responsibly. But it's encouraging to see so many people coming together to promote ethical AI. It gives me hope that we can overcome these challenges and use AI to make the world a better place.
I agree. It's an exciting and challenging time to be alive. But I think if we're careful, work together, and stay committed to ethical principles, we can create a future where AI helps us all live healthier, more fulfilling, and more equitable lives.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. AI is changing healthcare and education, and there's a growing global movement to make sure AI is developed and used ethically. But there's still so much more to explore.
There is. Why don't we take a short break, and when we come back, we'll dive even deeper into the exciting possibilities and important considerations surrounding the rise of AI. Welcome back. It's amazing to think about how AI can connect people and create opportunities for everyone to have a better future.
Definitely. We were just talking about how important it is to have global ethical standards for AI. But that's easier said than done, right? How do we make sure those standards are actually followed when different countries have different values and priorities? It's like trying to get everyone to agree on what the best ice cream flavor is.
Haha, I like that. It is a complicated issue. One of the articles you sent talked about the challenges of making sure ethical AI works across different cultures. What's considered ethical in one part of the world might be totally different somewhere else.
That's true. So how do we handle those cultural differences while still setting up some basic ethical rules for AI? It can't be one size fits all, can it?
Definitely not. It takes open discussion and collaboration. We need people from different cultures and with different viewpoints to come together. That way we can create ethical guidelines that work globally and are inclusive, respecting everyone's values and making sure AI helps everyone.
It's like weaving a tapestry. Each thread is a different culture's perspective, and they all come together to create something beautiful and complete.
I love that analogy. And besides cultural differences, there's also the question of who's going to enforce these ethical standards? Who's going to make sure people actually follow the rules? Should the tech industry regulate itself, or do we need governments to step in?
That's a tough one. If the tech industry regulates itself, it might be more flexible and adapt faster to new developments in AI. But it might not be as effective at holding people accountable. On the other hand, government regulation could be stricter, but might slow down innovation. It's a balancing act between giving people freedom and making sure they're responsible.
Maybe the answer is a little bit of both. We might see ethical frameworks created by the industry but backed up by government regulations. It's going to take tech companies, policymakers, ethicists, and regular people all working together to create a system that encourages innovation while keeping things ethical.
Sounds like we need everyone to be on board, not just the people building the technology.
Exactly. And education and awareness are really important. The more people understand about AI, its potential, and its risks, the better they'll be at demanding ethical development and use.
We need everyone to be part of the conversation, not just the tech experts.
You're absolutely right. We need a society that understands technology and also thinks critically about the ethical side of AI. That means including AI ethics in schools, encouraging public discussions, and making sure everyone can join the conversation, not just the tech experts.
We need everyone at the table, not just the engineers building the robots. So we've talked about the global impact of AI, the challenges of adapting to different cultures and enforcing ethical standards, and the need for everyone to learn about and understand AI. But let's bring things back down to earth for a minute. How is AI going to impact the daily lives of people like you and me?
That's a great question. We've already talked about AI's potential to change healthcare and education, but it will also affect so many other areas. Think about personalized shopping recommendations that actually get what you like, smart home assistants that predict what you need, even self-driving cars that make transportation safer and more efficient.
It sounds like AI could make our lives easier, more efficient, and maybe even more fun. But we have to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. The way AI affects our lives depends on the choices we make as a society.
That's right. Do we value convenience over privacy, efficiency over human connection? These are important questions we need to think about as AI becomes more integrated into our world. It's up to all of us to make sure AI is used ethically and for the benefit of everyone.
It's like AI is holding up a mirror to humanity, making us examine our values and priorities and decide what kind of future we want to build.
I love that. It shows how important it is to have thoughtful and informed discussions about how we want AI to shape our world. We need to move past the hype and the fear and engage in conversations that lead to responsible AI development and use.
And it's not just about preventing some kind of robot apocalypse. It's about shaping AI in a way that makes our lives better, strengthens our communities, and helps create a more just and equitable world for everyone.
Exactly. We can't just sit back and watch as AI changes our world. We need to be actively involved in shaping its development and making sure it reflects our shared values and aspirations.
Okay, so we've talked about the global implications of AI, the challenges of adapting to different cultures and enforcing rules, the potential impact on our daily lives, and the importance of ethics. But there's one more big thing we need to talk about, the future of work.
Ah, yes. The question everyone's asking, are robots going to take our jobs?
Exactly. It seems like every time there's a new breakthrough in AI, people start worrying about automation and losing their jobs. So what's the real story? Should we all be updating our resumes and learning to code?
Well, it's true that AI will automate certain tasks and even entire jobs. That's already happening in places like factories and transportation. But it's not necessarily all bad.
So you're saying we're not all going to be replaced by robots? There's still hope for us humans.
Of course. While AI will change the types of jobs that exist, it's also likely to create new jobs and opportunities that we haven't even thought of yet. Think about the early days of the internet. No one could have predicted all the new jobs that would be created in areas like web development, social media marketing, and e-commerce.
It's like saying we're going to invent this thing called the internet and it's going to create a whole bunch of jobs that don't even exist yet.
Exactly. AI is going to have a similar impact, opening up new areas in fields like data science, AI ethics, and working with AI. It's not about AI versus humans. It's about AI and humans working together, using each other's strengths to create a more productive and innovative future.
So instead of being scared of robots, we should be thinking about how to work with them, right?
Yeah.
But what about the jobs that AI does take over? What happens to those people whose skills are no longer needed?
That's a good point, and it's why we need to be prepared for the future of work. We need to invest in education and training programs that teach people the skills they need to succeed in a world with AI.
Yeah.
We need to focus on developing those skills that are uniquely human, like critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence.
Those are the things robots can't do, right? It's not just about coding and technical skills, but also about the soft skills that make us human, our ability to connect with others, to empathize, and to handle complex social situations.
Exactly. In fact, I think those human skills will become even more valuable as AI becomes more common. We'll need people who can bridge the gap between humans and machines, who can understand what AI is telling us, and who can make sure AI is used ethically and effectively in every part of our lives.
It sounds like the future of work isn't about avoiding being replaced by robots. It's about finding ways for humans and AI to work together, using each other's strengths to create something really new and transformative.
I like how you put that. It's about embracing the opportunities AI brings while being aware of and addressing the challenges. It's about creating a future where AI empowers everyone to reach their full potential.
That's a positive and encouraging way to think about it.
Yeah.
And speaking of positive and encouraging, before the break, we were talking about how AI could be used in art and creativity. I have to admit, the idea of AI being creative is still kind of mind-blowing to me.
I get it. It challenges our ideas about what it means to be creative. But AI is already being used to write music, create art, write poems, even generate scripts for movies. And the results are often beautiful, thought-provoking, and even moving.
So it's not about AI replacing human creativity. It's more about AI expanding it, like giving artists new tools to explore their imaginations and push the boundaries of what's possible.
Right. AI can be a powerful tool for artists, helping them to overcome creative blocks, explore new ideas, and try new ways of expressing themselves. Imagine an AI that can help a painter visualize their dreams, a musician compose a symphony that captures the feeling of love, or a writer create a story that takes readers to another world.
It's like AI is opening up a whole new world of creative possibilities, where our imaginations can run wild and anything is possible. And it's not just about making pretty pictures or catchy tunes. AI can also be used to create art that challenges our assumptions, explores social issues, and even helps us understand ourselves better.
Absolutely. AI can be a powerful tool for social commentary, self-expression, and even therapy. It can help us see the world in different ways, empathize with others, and explore our own emotions.
It's like AI is helping us connect with our own humanity in new and unexpected ways. And who knows what amazing art will be created in this AI-powered future.
That's what's so exciting about it. The possibilities are endless. As AI keeps evolving, I'm sure we'll see even more amazing and unexpected uses for it in art and creativity.
I can't wait to see what happens next. We've covered so much today, from the practical to the philosophical, from healthcare and education to ethics and the future of work. We've even talked about the transformative power of AI in art and creativity. It's been an incredible journey, and I feel like I have a much better grasp on this complex and rapidly changing field.
It's been a great conversation, and I think we've only just begun to understand what AI can do. The future of AI is still being written, and it's up to all of us to make sure it's a future worth having.
Well said. I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into AI with some final thoughts and reflections. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It's been a really thought-provoking conversation so far, exploring how AI could change the way we live and even what it means to be human.
It really has. We've talked about everything from AI making personalized cancer treatments to composing symphonies. Before the break, you mentioned how AI could help us see the world in new ways, even expand our consciousness through art and creativity. That's a pretty deep thought.
It is, and it gets to the heart of AI's power. We often focus on the practical stuff, making things easier, faster, more efficient. But what if AI could actually help us evolve as humans, to understand ourselves and the world around us in ways we never thought possible?
I like that idea, AI as a tool for human evolution. So are we talking about AI becoming some kind of artistic guide, leading us to enlightenment? Or maybe helping us create art that's so powerful it unlocks hidden parts of reality?
Maybe not hidden dimensions just yet. But I do think AI can really push the boundaries of our creativity. Imagine AI that can analyze tons of data, art, music, literature, scientific discoveries, and use that to help us create something truly new and thought-provoking.
It's like giving artists access to this massive library of inspiration, helping them tap into creative forces beyond their own experience. But what about the fear that AI will somehow replace human creativity? I mean, if a machine can write a novel or compose a symphony, what does that mean for human artists?
That's a valid concern, but I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. It's something that can be used to amplify human creativity, not replace it. Think about the camera. Did it kill painting? No way. It actually opened up new possibilities for art, new ways to see and capture the world.
So instead of being afraid of robot artists, we should be figuring out how to work with them, right? How to use AI to boost our own creativity, push the boundaries of art, and create something really meaningful and powerful.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe along the way, AI will help us unlock those hidden dimensions after all. But in all seriousness, I think the most important thing is to approach AI with curiosity and a willingness to experiment, to see it as a partner in creation, not a competitor.
Like a dance, a creative tango between human and machine. Each partner brings their own strengths to the table. So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
The future of AI isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we're building together right now through the choices we make, the questions we ask, and the conversations we have. And that future has so much potential, not just for technology, but for human progress, for exploring creativity, and for understanding what it means to be human in a world with intelligent machines.
I love that. That's a perfect thought to end on. It's been an incredible journey exploring AI with you. You've given me a lot to think about, and I hope our listeners feel the same way. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.